For millennia, the Galactic Concordance had observed a strict protocol when dealing with Deathworlders. It was simple: do not provoke them. Let them play their little games: diplomacy, trade, exploration, but never forget that behind their charming smiles and strange humor, they came from a world where everything tried to kill them, including their own planet. Humanity was the most infamous of all Deathworld species. They had clawed their way out of the gravity well of Earth, a planet that should have made them extinct in their infancy. Instead, they became a force, a contradiction wrapped in diplomacy, veiled threats, and unshakable resolve. They made treaties. They cracked jokes. They even played sports with species that evolved in temperate gardens and low-risk biospheres. But there was one rule the Concordance whispered to every new civilization that encountered the Terrans: do not mistake kindness for weakness. The Exaltuan did not listen. They were a proud warrior race, their homeworld a desert of blistering winds and volcanic plains. They had dominated 3 neighboring systems through conquest and intimidation. And now, bored and curious, they turned their gaze to the Terran Republic. To the Exaltuan, humans were soft. Their bodies were oddly squishy, their diplomats laughed too easily, and their ships traveled with shields down as a sign of trust. Disgusting. So, the Exaltuan struck. A border colony, barely a decade old, with 12,000 Terran civilians and a small defensive garrison. It was supposed to be a message: you are not untouchable. The message was received. The response did not come with threats. It did not come with envoys or debates in the Concordance chamber. It came in silence, like a storm you don't see until it's already tearing your house apart. The 72 and Orbital Legion was deployed within 72 hours. No declaration of war, no ultimatums, just coordinates. The same ones the Exaltuan invasion fleet had transmitted days before. The first strike came from low orbit, kinetic rods, tungsten cylinders, traveling at Mach 10, slammed into every Exaltuan military installation on their capital world. There was no warning, no mercy. Within an hour, the entire Exaltuan High Command was vaporized. The second wave was worse. Terran drop troops, heavily armored infantry, surgically enhanced and bred to survive environments that made Exaltuan training fields look like daycares landed in precise clusters. They didn't fire indiscriminately. They didn't level cities. They disabled. They isolated. They surgically removed every Exaltuan leader, warlord, and general they could find. When the Exaltuans surrendered, they expected death. What they received was silence. For 3 Terran days, nothing happened. Then a transmission was broadcast across every Concordance frequency in every known galactic language. To all civilized species of the galaxy, let it be known, the Terran Republic did not begin this conflict. We offered peace. We traded openly. We laughed with you. We bled beside you in joint military operations. We showed restraint. But we are Deathworlders. Our ancestors survived jungles that screamed and oceans that boiled. We walked on tectonic fault lines, breathed volcanic ash, and drank poison to build immunity. We broke the rules of physics just to touch the stars. We played nice. Until you burned our colony. Until you incinerated our children. Now you have met the part of us we kept buried. The part forged in fire, sharpened by extinction, and armored in ice. If you threaten one of us, you threaten all. Let this be the last time we have to remind anyone. The Terran Republic has spoken. Across the galaxy, millions watched in silence. The message wasn't long. It didn't need to be. The Exaltuan homeworld was not annexed. It wasn't turned into glass either. The humans rebuilt their colony and then left the Exaltuan to rule themselves. But everyone remembered what the humans could have done. From that day forward, the story spread. At spaceports, bartenders whispered it to travelers. On university campuses, xenobiology professors referenced it with solemn respect. On battle cruisers, captains reminded hot-headed crew members to mind their tone around Terrans. They called it the day the Deathworlders stopped playing nice. The legend grew with every telling, how Terran infantry fought in toxic atmospheres without breathing gear, how their AIs shut down Exal-2 fleets without firing a shot, how their soldiers carried their wounded enemies to safety once the battle was over, not because they had to, but because that's who they were when the fire cooled. Because humans weren't just warriors. They were survivors, builders, monsters when provoked, and saints when not. Some species chose to fear them. Others chose to learn from them. But no one ever forgot. And deep in the minds of those who ruled with arrogance, there remained a chilling, unspoken truth. The Deathworlders could end us at any time. They just choose not to.